You're watching One-on-One Sports, hosted by Eric Kendall and Christian Bender, with resident experts Tom Waterman, Greg Brzezowski, and Alex Rosenbaum, Billy O'Riordan, and Josh Norris, Robert Woner, and Michael Heil. Paulo de la Fell and Alex Sharon. Christine Williams and Aaron Moger. Welcome to One-on-One Sports.
Hello and welcome to another edition of One-on-One Sports. I'm Christian Bender.
And I'm Eric Kendall. Neither Christian or I have signed our contract extensions yet, so we're here for now, and we're not going to test free agency for now, so here are your starting five.
After weeks of speculation, Carmelo Anthony has been traded to the New York Knicks in a blockbuster deal. Eric, how does this change the face of the Eastern Conference?
I don't know if it really changes the top of the Eastern Conference all that much. Maybe later on in the future, it's a big deal. You have Amari and Melo on the same team. There's some star power in New York now.
There is star power, but what other power in New York? I mean, this trade basically swapped the Knicks for the Nuggets, and I'm not really sure if it's a good trade. You know, if you add up all the points, they traded about 60 points per game for about 45 from Melo and Chauncey Billups.
Well, it seems like everyone in the East is they're getting in this sort of arms race. And because of what the Heat did, because of what the Celtics did, 5 years ago, they feel like they need to get the stars in that organization to build up to something. They gave up a lot. I think Raymond Felton was probably the biggest piece they gave up.
Yeah.
Chauncey Billups did come over from Denver, but he's not the kind of guard that's going to run that D'Antoni offense.
It's a D'Antoni system. You need a fast point guard, and Chauncey Billups is a half-court guy.
Yeah, and that's what he's been for a long time. And he'll hit some big shots, as he's shown during his career.
Yeah.
But those shots will be going to Melo. You need some guy that can take it baseline to baseline like Felton could. I don't know if they have that anymore. Obviously, it's not a bad thing for the Knicks. They're going to be stuck in that 5 seed range for a while without making a move.
Right.
So they're going for championships.
Yeah, I'm not sure it helps them that much this year, but look you got the big three in Boston, the big three in Miami, and possibly next year the big three in New York, Chris Paul or Darren Williams.
Yeah, no, it's good speculation. I mean, it would be interesting to see. I don't know what to make of it. Yeah, if Chris Paul comes, then it's definitely a sort of scary situation. We'll see who wants to come to the Big Apple, make this the city to be in again. I like the trade, but not right now. It's not going to do anything for this season. Yep. The Daytona 500 had its 53rd running this past weekend, and who is on top of the end? None other than the 23-year-old rookie making just his second career Sprint Cup start, Trevor Bayne. Now, could this be one of the biggest upsets of all time, regardless of sport?
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. Who was Trevor Bayne? Who knew who Trevor Bayne
was
nobody before Sunday? This guy's he's less than 3 months older than me, Eric, and he won a Daytona 500.
You're a young guy.
I'm not even 20 yet, and this guy's older than me. What am I doing with my life? I mean, come on. This is a huge upset. Great for NASCAR. I mean, Carl Edwards did a post-race interview where he talked about all the philanthropy that Bayne does, and I think that's what people are going to remember more about him than maybe the win come,
I know, it's a big deal. Now, this guy's not going to be racing all season. He's signed up for the Nationwide Series, kind of the minor leagues of NASCAR. It's really funny that this guy who no one thought could have a chance, he's like a pusher in this 2-car drafting thing that NASCAR had going on at Daytona. He was supposed to push someone there. He ends up being in front. It's like a fluke. And this kid holds off some Hall of Fame drivers behind him when you talk about the Busch brothers and Carl Edwards and Mark Martin wasn't too far behind.
Yeah.
He's holding these guys off for his first win in his second start. Unbelievable. Quite a big performance. Looking back, if this ends up being like sort of the start to a huge career, it'll be storybook. I feel like it might be sort of a
Could he be the next Ricky Bobby?
No, I feel like it. Okay, we just took a turn on something.
Real life Ricky Bobby, come on.
I think it could be the start of something great, but I think it's going to be a flash in the pan. It'd be sort of like a golfer winning a major, and you never hear from him again.
Now that the deadline for Albert Pujols and the St. Louis Cardinals to reach a new contract agreement has passed, it appears that the future Hall of Famer will be testing the free agent market after the season is over. Eric, is this good or bad for baseball?
I wouldn't say it's bad for baseball. I mean, it definitely creates some buzz here in the offseason. St. Louis hasn't really had a whole lot of buzz before this. It gives them, he's still on the team this year. Let's make that clear. He's going to be playing all these games for them. No one is worth that amount of money. No one. $30 million. No, not even Albert Pujols. He's a great player, probably the best right now. A-Rod's too highly paid. Maybe there's a percentage of guys in the league that are way too highly paid for what they bring to an organization in baseball. No one is worth that kind of money. I don't care how many home runs you hit, RBIs. Yeah. It's not a good thing to drive the price up.
I think that it's good for Albert Pujols because this is the first time this guy's going to taste free agency. And he's got all the leverage. I mean, he is arguably the best player in the game.
He's got great leverage.
But it's bad for baseball. Albert Pujols is a St. Louis Cardinal lifer. He can't just go spurn them now for more money. It would destroy loyalty in sports.
Do you think he actually goes somewhere else?
No.
No?
No, he's a Cardinal for life.
Yeah, I happen to agree with you. Probably going to stay there. The Auburn-Alabama rivalry has taken a strange turn with a disgruntled Tide fan taking it upon himself to poison the trees at Toomer's Corner on the campus of Auburn University. Now, Christian, this is Toomer's Corner. It's a big, tradition-laden area at Auburn's campus. What do you make of this Tide fan doing it? What is it called for?
No, absolutely not. This is absolutely criminal. This is vandalism and destruction of property on the very basic level. At first, I didn't know what to think of it. Was this funny, a practical joke, or was it a crime? And the more I read about it, the more this is a crime. This goes beyond sports. War of words is one thing, but to go to somebody else's campus and destroy something that those people consider sacred is just so out of left field and completely
it's funny because obviously it is a crime. It's illegal. It's not a good thing to do in society. But I think it adds a little bit to this rivalry.
Sure.
I kind of like it. It's one of those things that you draw to. It's like Auburn LSU when the earthquake hit. It's that sort of thing. I think it'll go way beyond this.
The Los Angeles Lakers, losers of their last 3 games heading into the All-Star break, have not looked like a team prepared to make a deep run in the postseason. Is it time to count Phil Jackson and company out?
No, obviously you don't count them out. I mean, they're the Lakers. They've won 2 straight. You don't count them out. But it is something to be worried about. I mean, great teams don't just not show up like the Lakers have been doing. It's something to keep your eye on. Obviously, they may not be the best in the West right now. I mean, the Spurs, people say they're too old to do it in the playoffs. I don't see why they're doing it right now. They're beating everyone.
Right.
So they're not that much better than everyone out there. So it is something to be worried about.
Right. And I'm not going to count them out at all. You got the best coach, in my opinion, of all time. And Kobe Bryant is just a clutch player. Postseason is where it matters. You can't count them out now, although I will agree that they look like they don't have that same kind of hunger they had last year. Yeah. And there's just something about them that doesn't quite jive, but I think they'll figure it out.
I'd have to agree. Well, we'll have to see where they are at the end of the season. That's all that matters in LA. Time for us to take a quick timeout, but when we return, hear which one of our college experts believe who will hurt himself in the combine workout. Stick around.